The Indianapolis Colts have been back in action for 2 weeks now, and we've got a lot to talk about. Now, starting off with some great news, Jonathan Taylor has signed an extension for 2 more seasons, so he will be here for the next 3 years, the following two being worth $44 million. Jonathan Taylor's our best offensive player, and it's just great to see that he's going to be paid for all the great things he's done for us, and that he's going to be a Colt for the next 3 years. Quentin Nelson and DeForest Buckner are in the last year of their contracts. DeForest Buckner is 32 now and coming off a neck surgery. At the moment, it looks like the Colts are expecting them to play out the last year of their deal and make a decision on possibly bringing them back in the spring. Moving on to the injuries. So there's a lot of hamstring injuries going on right now. C.J. Allen, the rookie linebacker, Hunter Wooler at safety, and DJ Giddens are all out with hamstrings or have been from practice in recent days. And Josh Downs missed a couple of the last practices with a groin injury. Allen in particular is very concerning. They're expecting a lot out of him. Hopefully the groin injury for Downs doesn't keep him off the practice field for very long. The last injury that's notable is Alec Pierce. He is still waiting to be activated off of PUP, recovering from the ankle surgery he had in the spring. Initially, when asked about it, Chris Ballard said a week or two into camp. It has now been 2 weeks. So hopefully within the next week or so, Pierce will be starting to get worked into the practice schedule, whether it's just individual period things. It seems that he will not be available for these first joint practices with the New England Patriots this week. Also in the news, Cam Taylor-Britt will be suspended for the Week 1 matchup against Baltimore. In the off-season, I guess this was before he signed with Indianapolis, he was arrested, spent a few days in jail because he was driving without a license. Just a 1-game suspension he gets for that. Let's get into the position battles. So at linebacker, C.J. Allen, we were expecting a lot out of him. We still are, but he's been largely unavailable. He's practiced about twice because of the hamstring strain. He started on PUP, missed the first couple of days, and he's been back out with the hamstring for a while now. Now, the green dot. The green dot is the play caller on defense, or Lou Anarumo is the play caller on defense, but he's the one receiving the conversation in his helmet, in his ear. Only one guy is allowed to receive that incoming conversation from Lou Anarumo. And about 90% of the league, or over 90% of the league, has a linebacker doing that, the central figure in the defense in the middle. But on occasion, it'll be a safety. Last year, Tennessee did have a safety calling their defense for the entirety of the season. Lou Anarumo did this, I believe it was in 2020 with Von Bell, and the last few practices it has been Cam Bynum at safety with the green dot. This makes sense, as C.J. Allen hasn't been very available during practice, but it seems like that might be where we're heading this season with all these young guys at linebacker. With Allen unavailable, it's largely been a very frequent rotation at linebacker. We've seen guys like Austin Ajike, rookie Bryce Betcher, we've seen Jalen Carlies just rotating in, and asked about it recently. He said it could be more of a specialized role where maybe some guys are in for certain packages, some guys are specialized for pass coverage, some for run stopping. Can leave you vulnerable, but might make it easier to put less on the plate of each of these young linebackers. And it seems at the moment that the green dot is favoring Cam Bynum at safety. It's rare. He's done it before, though, and Lou Anarumo, that being. And he also mentioned, Lou did, that in having those green dot conversations over the intercom, he usually has more extra notes to give to the safeties. So as a former DB coach, he doesn't mind having the green dot be a safety, speaking directly to them. But again, it's just less central. That most teams, they find it to be an easier level of communication when that green dot is in the center of the defense. Moving on to safety, who's going to be starting alongside Cam Bynum? Right now, it looks like A.J. Halsey. To begin camp, Hunter Wooler, the second-year player who was injured all of last season, he was getting most of those reps, but he is now also out with a hamstring. So Halsey has stepped in and has looked very comfortable. It's been a few rookie moments of balls getting over his head, Tyler Warren mossing him, but Halsey has looked unshaken and ready to take on the challenge. Moving on to the edge battle, kind of seems like no question right now, it is going to be Arden Key. Guys like Jalen Tuimoloau and Michael Clemens have been getting the lion's share of the reps with the second team unit, but they have not taken over at all when Key has been there with the first team. He looks comfortable, he looks athletic, and we will see if he can be more productive than Kwity Paye was in his spot before. The wide receiver 3 battle, kind of hard to tell because Treadwell has been out for a while, but Nick Westbrook-Akine has started to pull away as that option as the third wide receiver. It is still possible the Colts are waiting on a veteran addition, although kind of seems like the only guy left out there is Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen does have experience with Shane Steichen, so it's possible they've already worked out a deal. Some fans are really hoping for that to happen. I like Nick Westbrook-Akine, but Shane Steichen might want a little bit more of a veteran presence, somebody who's had a larger share on their plate in the past. Now, Sauce Gardner, he is very positive about where this team is heading. Worth mentioning contextually that he spent the beginning of his career in New York with the Jets, where things are not positive, to say the least, and a lot of poor management in the front office there. I mean, they traded away Sauce Gardner. I mean, what are you doing? But he said early in camp, when asked about the combination of him and Charvarius Ward, that they are capable of being the best duo in the world. I believe that if they're capable of staying healthy, but it's just great to hear him in such a positive mindset about what they're going to be able to accomplish together. And then this previous week, when asked about Shane Steichen, Sauce Gardner said that he believes Shane Steichen to be a top 3 play caller in the NFL. He also said that at this point in time, Daniel Jones has been performing like a top 5 quarterback in training camp, and that's coming off of his Achilles injury. Needless to say, Sauce Gardner is very excited about where this Indianapolis Colts team is heading, and he said, "We are going to win. We're just going to do it." Also, Seth McGowan is turning heads. The running back 2 competition is over. It seems all of the fans are raving about how explosive he looks, how great of an athlete he looks to this point. Worth mentioning again that DJ Giddens has been largely unavailable with a hamstring injury, so he hasn't had much of a chance to turn heads himself, but McGowan looks comfortably to have taken over that running back 2 spot to this point. The tight end room, I just love it. I love how versatile the tight end room is. Obviously, everybody loves Tyler Warren. Nothing the guy can't do. Tough runner, handing the ball at fullback, great blocker, and great hands. Everyone's excited to see that long hair take off for another season. But everyone underneath him, Will Mallory, our receiving tight end, young guy, 86, he has looked fantastic. Just great hands, running great routes out there. Everybody loves Mo Alley Cox. He can go up there and make that one-handed catch if you need him to. Sure-handed, not the fastest guy in the world, meaning he's quite slow, but very reliable blocker. I love what they're doing. And then Ogletree, just a little bit of everything, a Swiss Army knife. He put his head down and be a great blocker and also go make a toe tap catch in the back of the end zone like nobody's business. I love what they're doing. Very versatile group. Next, what to expect from Jalen Travis. So Travis will be taking over at right tackle for Braden Smith. And over the 4 starts that he had last season, he graded fairly well, just slightly better than how Braden Smith was grading. I believe he only allowed 1 sack through his 4 starts, and the Colts seem confident about where he's heading going into his first year as a starter. With that being said, I've been out at training camp almost every day, and Laiatu Latu is beating him like a drum. So that could be good news, that could be bad news, that could be both. Latu, I'm hoping that he takes a big step forward this season. I'm very excited to see what he does. But Jalen Travis has been really struggling to keep up with him. So maybe a little bit more work to do, a little bit more film to watch, but that has been a bit of a beating every time I've seen it out there during 11-on-11s. Also, on Sunday morning, Riley Leonard looked very, very good. So it hasn't looked much like he's pulling away from Richardson. Richardson has had issues with fumbling snaps and other things that just make him look overtly bad, but Leonard has not really taken over as I'm going to move the ball down the field and have no problem with it against the second unit type of day. In fact, the second and third defensive units have really dominated the second and third offensive units, especially in the front. But Leonard on Sunday made several really awesome throws and seemed like he was starting to pull away. He does have the momentum heading into these preseason games to win that backup quarterback job. So we will see how that plays out, but Riley Leonard looks good. Lastly, big ticket item, Daniel Jones. I love me some Daniel Jones, and he's looking comfortable. You don't always love to see your quarterback taking off and running during non-tackling practices. It's like, come on, just throw an interception. We're in practice. We're here to make mistakes. We don't want to see you scramble and no one's going to tackle you. But it is nice to see when you're coming off an Achilles and you see a guy getting comfortable, taking full strides. Early in training camp, I saw him take off scrambling a few times and was a little bit peeved that he was not throwing the ball down the field. But the last time that I saw him do it, I believe this was the run that Albert Breer was talking about. He took off in a full sprint down the right sideline, and reportedly, he got up to 19.5 miles per hour. This guy tore his Achilles in what, December, November? he looks incredibly comfortable, knock on wood, but he looks like he's going to be totally ready physically for week 1. It's only a question of whether or not the rest of the Colts team is going to be prepared to take on the Baltimore Ravens. I'm very excited to see what they can put together. What Jonathan Taylor is going to be able to put together with a healthy O-line in front of him. They've got Baltimore coming in week 1. This upcoming week, the Colts will have 2 joint practices in New England, visiting the New England Patriots. They'll get in a lot of very good work. And then on Thursday night, virtually, I'm guessing, none of the starting unit will be getting any reps during the live preseason game, but we will get a good look at both Riley Leonard and Anthony Richardson competing for that backup quarterback position. Thanks for tuning in today. This is Indy Sports Yap, and I'm Ben Holland.